Welcome back to PJ Chen Design. This is PJ. Today we are going to talk about how to making this eternity ring, especially how to calculate the stone for specific ring size and the prong distance. Are you ready? Let's get started. We're going to bring in the stone and size to the size that you like for your jewelry. You can download the stone file at the description below, or you can watch one of my diamond making video to know how to make this diamond. Once you get the stone, that's coming into the front view, and I'm going to set it up a ring size for 16. So we want to see that how many stone do we need it for this one. I'm going to use the array polar, and I'm going to type it 0 here. And kind of a guessing, let's guess 20 and see how that works. It seems really well. So now we are looking at this stone. The stone is about 2.5, roughly about that size. And you actually wanted to have a little bit distance in between. You do not want it to be too close because the prong will be really small. So we want to measure the size for this one. If we coming over, snapping into the vertex from this point to this end point here, and we can roughly know that it's like 0.46 millimeter. All right, so that is nice, and that is the smallest area, which means our prong will be cutting about 20%, and that's actually pretty good. So coming at the front view, I'm going to draw snapping from this vertex to this vertex, and I'll draw a line there. And I'm going to coming into the front view, that's starting from the 0 and snapping into the midpoint of that line. And I also wanted to have another one coming here, just snapping into the quadrant here. So now we can know like how much is different in between those. As using the dimension tool, measure one more time. This time we want to measure in between here and here. And it is showing is 9 degrees. Or simply, you can just 360 divided by 20. Anyway, so I'm gonna use this as a guideline later on. So I'm need to have a reference line over there. Okay. The next thing is what we wanted to do is actually draw a straight line. And I'm moving my cursor to this straight line here, and hit the tab key and coming out like this. So this line will be the correct angle. Now I need to copy this line to the other side over here. Well, since this is 18 degree twice, I'm going to making a copy by rotation, and copy equal yes here, and I want to type it 36. So then I will have one here and one here. To making a curve nicely in between those two lines, what I like to do is using the blend command. I'm going to blend it in between here and here. So you can hold the shift key and moving this back so it will move on the both handle together. And I want to have something roughly maybe like this. So this will be the line that I'm going to use. Maybe it is a little bit too long, because I do not want to have my prong is like too tall, so I'm going to join them, and then gonna draw an arc, maybe from this point to over this point, and use that as a cutting tool to trim this off. So then that will be a proper size of the prong. Okay, so now we need to edit something like this. Now if I just go ahead and pipe this guy, and let's say we wanted to have a radius for 0.5 millimeter, which is a little bit fat there, but we will change it later. And let's say I'm going to move this one to here, right? So what happened to the next one, it's going to look like this. We are going to do a test by rotating this one and moving something like this, right? Now notice that if you in the render view, and what you're gonna see is this really ugly transition there, right? So to make it look nicer, we need to have some is lower, some is higher, so something like this. So it will look nicer. But now if you look at the top view, so all those 4 prong is not aligned. So it doesn't look good in this way. So what I like to do is this. I'm going to rebuild this guy. And you can rebuild as many points as you wanted. I'm going to try 7 point here and click OK. Now, somewhere around here and here, those 2 points, I want them to move in a little bit. And maybe this one I want to move in a little bit more. Something like that, right? So if we pipe in this one, it was a little bit too big for 0.5 radius. Let's try 0.4 and click enter twice. So then you get something like this. All right. So we want to give it a try and see how that look. I'm going to have this one and rotate it from this point for 18 degree. And we can take a look on this and see if that's working fine. All right, so if that's working fine, and then we're gonna use this as a guideline, but also you can do another way is you can move this one out first like this, and I'm gonna pipe this one and make sure you turn on the history with the same diameter like this. Okay, the next one we are going to do is we're gonna do polar array, and center is 0. Polar array 20 of them, and again make sure you record a history. So you will get something like this, and you can take a look on the render view. All right, so if that is something that you like, then that's fine. But if you don't like it, what you can do is you can turn on the control point of this curve, and then you keep editing on it, because we record a history, so everybody will change at the same time. Okay, so let's say you like this one. So all we need to do now is to mirror to the other side. All right, so it looked good right now, but the two sides actually not touching, right? So we cannot cast something like this. So next, let's just making a bar in between. I'm just gonna draw a very short line and having this guy to be pipe with the same diameter there. And with this one, I actually want it to be align center and just type it 0 there. Okay, now I can just simply moving this one to the top at where it's connected. I actually wanted to make this one just slightly smaller, so it's the line, the seam is doesn't overlapping and creating a problem for Boolean union. And with this one, that's polar array, the same number for 20 of them. And now I'm looking at this. Actually, this is a good opportunity to talk about that. We actually don't want to have a cullet of a stone is stick it into something. All this bar that we have here, we actually want them to move it right here. So that way we can make the back of the stone is clear. Let's do polar array one more time and 20 of them. And that way we'll make sure the bar is clean. If you like to trim it out inside to be more flat, that's showing more of a stone, you can do that too, or the jeweler actually will do that anyway when they set the stone. It is really important to understand how the stone setting work for jewelry CAD design. If you want to know more about the stone setting, I have a completely free course. It is a stone setting mini course, starting from talking about the stone setting concept. And I will show you what's the crucial element to design a prong set, and we will custom a prong set head in this mini course. I hope that will help you to understand the stone setting better for the jewelry CAD design. The link is in the description below. Hope to see you there. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next.